get into tonight's slate. I was just telling Sheets pre-show. It's been a rough go. I wouldn't be betting on me if I was anybody else. And I don't know why I'm going to Vegas on Friday, except for it's my cousin's birthday. I probably shouldn't gamble because I'm running bad and I'm also running very stupid. I've been absolutely idiotic. I got my Instagram hacked, which I told you guys before, and it also hacked my WhatsApp. I also had my card, which was hacked into 3 weeks ago, and I'm still dealing with claims from that. And then today I'm running to meet my grandfather for lunch. And after I finished peeing, I turned around. I was getting in the shower, and I'm taking my watch off as I'm getting in the shower, and it just flung in as the flush was going down, and my watch went down the toilet. So that's a symbol of there's bad things going on. I got some bad vibes going, but she said I had to say it on air, so I'm going ahead and starting off with it. I feel like a total moron. Life is going in a very strange direction. I can't win at DFS in basketball. I can only win at golf, which I don't understand. Just all kinds of craziness going on.
It's like what's this like? You've seen Tin Cup, right? The movie.
Yeah.
Where he says, "Listen, you're shanking it. Just like put your head on backwards and put the quarter in your pocket and do that. This is what you're doing.
That's what I need to do.
I like it. Dude, you're already ahead of the game. You're flushing your shit down the toilet. You know what I mean? Like you're getting there. I think.
Oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing. And then I'm doing a juice cleanse, and then I'm on day 3 of a juice cleanse. Also, like my whole life just feels like it's going completely nuts. It's so crazy that I actually was. People are like, "But you flushed it down the toilet?" Like they understood the dropping. They could not.
It was you pre-flushed. You know,
I flushed, and then I took the watch as I was taking the watch off, and then the watch just flung in there as it literally I couldn't reach it, and I can hear it beeping. But it costs more. I mean, it's an expensive watch, the expensive Apple Watch, but it costs more to get a plumber to lift up the house. So it's pretty crazy, man. Anyway, I'm only playing a couple lineups because of this tonight, so we're going to talk through it.
So let's lock it. Let's lock in Giannis then. You want to do that?
That's the other thing. Yeah,
he's a good price, right? He's a good matchup, right?
Good price,
right?
Yeah, they say he's not playing, but who can we trust?
Yeah, exactly. Fake news.
Fake news. It does create, I think, a couple must plays, and that's one thing. Oh my God, Rhodey might be my guy because he has some. He knows. I think Rhodey. Somebody in our little group knows about the plumbing stuff. I don't remember if it was Rhodey or not. Anyway, all right. So getting to the slate, it's no longer just Utah and Washington anymore. It's Milwaukee, and I guess we have to talk about that.
Well, let's go backwards for a second. Before the Milwaukee, and I'm updating projections right now. Before the Milwaukee news came out, there was stuff on Keontae George showing up on the injury report late, which I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but I was going to prepare to talk about. Remember that I don't know if that's been confirmed or anything yet, but it is a 9:00 game. So it's if he is in fact out, then I mean Sexton I think becomes even a better play. Then now does Chris Dunn then become in play or something?
Yeah, they're all in play. I mean, you'll have 8 or 9 guys projecting to more than 5x. You've already got 8, and I think Dunn would jump in there, but I guess it would just be done.
And who are some other these baloney plays that I've been hearing about? So we talked about that one guy from Portland. What was his name? Not Mangone. What's his name? The guy that got 32 minutes the other day.
Yeah, I just think it's become a little thin for me on this slate. Patrick Beverley is 700 cheaper and probably gonna see a bump, as well as like gross plays like Jay Crowder, but that play is kind of a gross one too. So I would probably lean a little bit more into those, and I would also probably wait on the later value. I just didn't get to much from that side of things. I think if I had to play anybody from that instead of the Hagans, I was going to play Hagans, but I think that there's just too much other value. So Jabari Walker is the one who still I think has the upside.
But is there another guy? I want to say Mangone, but it's not Mangone. There was somebody I haven't even looked at it. There's some other value guy.
Sensabaugh.
Yeah, there was another one. I'll look at it again. Maybe it was somebody's nickname for somebody else. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Yurt 7 maybe.
No.
Um,
Hang on. We'll find it in a minute. We'll find. I just got to do the projections. Yeah. So who do we think is going to be? Well, obviously Lillard's a good play. I mean that I can tell you.
Yeah. So Lillard and Portis are. I'll play them. I'm not playing that many lineups, but they'll be in all of them. And I think you could expand that to Jay Crowder too, who's probably going to project really well.
Okay.
But I don't love the Crowder. I mean, you just have you just don't know. You really don't know what you're going to get with him. He and Pat Bev are two of the values, but also Malik Beasley is now a pretty decent value. Brooke Lopez, and pretty much everybody on Milwaukee. The two I'm locking in would be the Lillard and Portis. And then I do think we're getting a run back in that game, and then you get Washington and Utah stuff. It's kind of interesting because no one's going to play these Clippers today, and I just keep going to the fact that I think that they all have plenty of upside. It's going to be. I mean, the defense just got even worse for Milwaukee, not better. So I like the idea of maybe using one of these guys. I think Harden and Kawhi would be my preferred ones, but I have no issue if anyone wanted to say Paul George. I do think that using those guys, though, is an interesting way to build a little differently.
Is there any news on the Fox yet or no?
No, not officially. And even with this other stuff, I don't know how much it means to me anymore. But again, I'm not. It's not going to matter that much because hopefully you're buying time with the Washington Utah. But I guess if we don't have the news by then it's kind of tough at 9 Eastern. And I don't think that him being out is going to make anyone a must play, which is weird to say out loud because you think it has to, but we've had this every day, and basically no one's price is changing that much except for Monk. Monk would be the guy I would go for, but I don't think you have to do anything. I actually would like Monk though, probably better than Sexton, unless if George plays.
Monk better than Sexton.
I just think if Fox is out, yeah. I mean, I also think he might still be lower owned. I'm fine with the Sexton thing. I think that Jordan Clarkson is just as much of a play as Sexton is. I didn't try to go out of my way to build those guys in. I actually like John Collins better than either of them. But it really is going to depend on their starting lineup because we're speculating on this Sensabaugh thing, but it very likely could be Yurt 7 who starts and they move Collins back to the 4. That's completely possible. So Yurt 7, who may not show up as an okay value now, might be the best value on the slate. We just don't know yet. So did we get the official word that all 4 of those guys are out for the Blazers? Because that was what I was going to go to next. That was the other reason for buying time. This is basically just for what it's worth. We have more time than I think we think. I'll stay here as long as Sheets does or whatever because I am not going to play that first game. I just think there's too much other stuff later on. And it's not that I don't think there are decent plays. I think Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and Schroeder are all fine. I think that Greg Jackson's fine. I think Jordan Goodwin is fine. I just think that there's better plays. And yes, it's confirmed. Brendan says he's been good to us. So Brendan says officially those guys are all out for Portland, which means Ayton's out, Kamara's out, and Thibel's out. I think we have to wait for projections to update before we do anything. I didn't get the official word on that, but I'm going to take Brendan's word for it because he's always been good about this stuff.
Portland meaning that you got the Doherty's guy starting again.
You're going to have Duop Reith. It's going to make the Ashton Higgins play. Now Ashton Higgins is back in, like for me, because they just are short on bodies. Now they're probably going to get smoked tonight. It is a back-to-back for Minnesota, and they lost a tough one last night to the Clippers. But I think that if there's anything to take from, if you wanted to do anything, maybe playing Anthony Simons at low ownership is certainly like there's just no one else to shoot. You know, look, it's a terrible matchup. But at the same time, if they're gonna hang in the game even a little bit, you'd think that Simons would have to do something. So I'm gonna wait for the projections to update, but I'm gonna guess Jabari Walker, Ashton Higgins are gonna be the guys who look really good. Maybe some Blanton and Reith as well.
Yeah. So yes, I still have these Portland guys in, so we'll have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portis, Lillard, Beverly, Collins, Tucker for Utah, Kuzma, Sexton, Beasley. Yeah, you mentioned him. So yeah, that's going to be the question of what. Yeah, there's Yurtseven. Yeah, that's going to be the question is what to do with the is what happens when the Portland thing gets finalized.
Yeah. Guys, while we're having a little break while we're waiting for this, please click the like button and all that stuff. Wanted to mention that, but I also wanted to say, like, I think that the Bulls are sort of like, I think that's sort of fading out of people's mind a little bit, and I think that's another place that you can use your spend ups. I like Kobe White. I like all the top 4 guys for the Bulls, and I think Desonmu's in play as well, especially if Caruso, who may be out again. I don't think I would do the Drummond thing not starting unless Caruso was out, personally. Okay. I still think he's got enough ownership to where I don't quite want to go there. But, you know, if you ended up with him in some lineups, I wouldn't mind it. But I don't think I'm going to build planning on Andre Drummond. The problem is if for whatever reason, they try to do something different and they do start him, that's going to make things a little bit weird. Because then I think you kind of have to play him. Yeah, the thing about Io just has a wide range of outcomes in general, but I think Io is totally in play. I mean, again, assuming that Caruso's out, especially. He's been more consistent.
Yeah, but you did mention this the Memphis. And the only guy I was thinking about it too. I was thinking of playing Goodwin only because everybody's going to do the smart thing and fade it, you know. And if you can just get away with it, you know what I mean? Like, and you can get away with one of those guys, it does give you a big edge. But I'm looking to see what else is going on.
Yeah, I have no issue with it. I like right now, you know, there's value out there. I think some of these top spends are getting a little too low ownership. Although Anthony Davis has sort of picked up some steam today, which is a little unfortunate. I think you could go to LeBron too. I think they're both totally legitimate. And Shea is going to probably pick up a little steam with Giannis out. But I like the idea of playing Shea and Davis along with Lillard, which means I'm going to be using the value elsewhere.
And when does the Portland game start?
Portland starts at 8 Eastern.
Okay.
So the Memphis one is just, I'm just not going to.
That's just got to be dead, right? I mean,
I just can't do it. I understand it. Like, again, but the guys you mentioned, I mean, you could fix one of those guys with these guys. I just think there's too much good value coming in the later games. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top values in the slate, almost none of them are in the first game, and a lot of those values might get better and better because we don't know who's starting.
So 7:30, yeah, can't do that one. Portland, Minnesota, right? And then okay. And it's weird, like as I mentioned before, if you were playing FanDuel, they don't have anything past that Washington-Utah game. They don't have the Laker game. They don't have the other one either. They have just 4 games.
It's true, yeah. On the how about you? You know, you like a little bounce back stuff, and you always like the bounce back or whatever happened the last time, the opposite happening. James Harden had maybe his worst shooting. It was 0 for 10. I mean, from the floor. He didn't make a field goal. I don't know if he's had a game like that I can ever remember in his career, but not a bad bounce back candidate tonight. And you could play him along with Lillard because Harden will be just like, he's going to be like 1% owned. All of the Clippers will be low owned, but Harden's going to be like 1% because of the price position and because Lillard's the same price, $200 cheaper.
Yeah, so Portland they got 8 and out, but they didn't update anybody really. Doesn't look like it, at least.
Yeah, it hasn't gone through yet, I don't think. MD's asking about Hendricks or Koulibaly, which one will be lower owned? Koulibaly, I think, will be lower owned than Hendricks. But the weird part is that both of them showing up a little lower owned than I would have imagined.
And what do you think again of the? We talked about this a little earlier. We talked about the Bulls with respect specifically to Drummond. That we'd play him more if we thought they were going to play two bigs. But did you give that any more thought, or you think
That's what I'm saying is that we have there's no reason to think that they would possibly play both bigs if Caruso's in. That won't happen.
Okay.
If Caruso's out, it leaves a little bit of a question mark. And then the other question becomes, well, if Drummond doesn't start, that means you've got somebody 3K starting.
Right.
So it's, Terry Taylor or something like that, Dalen Terry maybe. But yeah, it's going to be really hard to speculate on that one. Because I would not imagine Drummond starts unless, again, Caruso's out. But maybe this is an argument to play Drummond if he now gets overlooked. Because Caruso, has been missing games. Like, we don't, he played the last one, but I don't know. I think I always treat Caruso's as really genuine question marks because the guy gets hurt all the time.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna probably I'm just sitting with my builds and I'm not touching anything until 4:45. And
I'm just waiting for Portland stuff to update. Then I can do some stuff.
Yeah.
But what's the spread? What is the spread now? I mean, it was 18. What the hell is this?
It should be a lot higher in my opinion. It's because the back-to-back, I guess, for Minnesota that they're not doing that. But man, I'll tell you, I'd get into it. I like Minnesota minus 14, 15, 16, 17. I like Minnesota pretty much to win this game as easily as they want to.
And how many Milwaukee's are we playing together? I mean,
I think you're playing 2 and 3 is okay.
Yeah,
I think two are automatic and 3 are okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to play Lillard and Portis. I'm just saying I'm locking them in. If you wanted to play Beasley and Portis or Lillard and Beasley or Crowder as one of the other ones, but I do think you could play up to 3. You could probably play up to 4, but I think you probably want it. The sweet spot is probably 2 or 3, just because of the other stuff. But if Keontae George is in, I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. It is weird because it is. I know you have to go through the range of outcomes and all that stuff, but it's just strange to see a team that 2 guys always get there and nobody else, but 7 or 8 guys all look like you have to play them.
The Utah, you mean?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And then, by the way, with this other thing with this Portland and Minnesota, this is one of the rare times you've seen a team under. Portland's projected for 98 real life points tonight. That's incredibly low.
How many guys do they have? 7? I mean, how many?
What's that? How
many guys are they playing with, though?
I mean, no, I know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I still like the under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't wait for the playoff. I love the playoff stuff so much. It's just such a great thing. It'd be great if there was more 4-game slates and we had longer for that stuff, but it's just so much fun to try and figure out how teams are going to adjust.
Yeah.
What happened? Did they just drop Lillard? No, I changed my thing. Yeah. Lillard's projected as the best. I think he might be that raw points guy. He's right there for raw points tonight.
Yeah, what's spreads probably pick 'em or so, right? I would imagine.
Now. Let me double check what it updated to. I mean, it's the Clippers. The Clippers are favored by 1.5, which is kind of funny because this is a back-to-back after playing Minnesota, who's arguably the best team in the West.
Portis is always good with Giannis out.
Yeah.
Crowder, if he gets the minutes, him and Lillard. I mean, like you said, Lopez. I mean, all these guys. I mean, that's just all the so much usage.
Yeah, I like Pat Beverly a little bit. He's been getting there anyway. I think that's what I might do.
I'm just saving a couple of things, but they're not relevant until Portland projections update. But I'll tell you, man, that Portland one, that's got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? That's like a macro risk. I mean, that game could be like over, like
Right.
then you get like Moses Brown off the bench or something. He can't. You know what the problem with Moses Brown is? Like he can't play minutes. I mean, he just can't.
Yeah, it's like the Christian Wood effect, but like on a poor man's Christian Wood.
Very, very poor man's Christian.
Well, Christian Wood's pretty poor too. But yeah, we just haven't seen Moses Brown play any minutes really. But that's actually not like ridiculous today. Yeah, Jabari Walker, Chris Murray, Ashton Hagans, Delano Blanton. I think Hagans would probably be my favorite guy to take a shot on.
The Walker's good though.
Yeah, Walker's like a legit play. It's gonna look really good, I think.
Maybe Clyde Drexler will play or something like that. He's pretty good.
So they've got Reith, Walker, and Moses Brown to match up with Towns, Gobert, and Reed. Nas Reed.
Good luck with all of that.
Yeah, I don't really know how that works.
I know how it works.
I know these guys are just—it's going to be nuts. This game, they're not going to be able to. Even if Minnesota misses a shot, nobody's going to be able to get a rebound for Portland. Like
to be thematic, Portland's chances are basically being flushed down the toilet like your watch, pretty much. Tyus Jones, I still think it's a good play. You know what I mean? Like these guys are all good plays.
Yeah, I agree. I think the field actually got on the Tyus Jones thing more and off the Jordan Poole thing. So I would go probably a little bit more Poole just because of ownership. But I like the Tyus Jones play a lot. Like I think he's like a legitimate, like you could probably make an argument for him in cash game lineups. Wouldn't be a great argument because I guess there's too many good guards, but he's close.
Anything? No, nothing yet.
So I'm going to be around for Friday morning, by the way, but I'm going to be at the airport during the live.
Okay. So who's available? So Simons, Walker, Hagans, Murray, Reith,
Banton, yeah,
Baji, I guess.
Yeah,
Moses Brown.
10 bodies, but trying to figure out
who's Rupert. Who's that?
I know very little about him, to be honest with you. I'll do a little quick dive and see.
That's someone who will get like a full fourth quarter of law run at 3K. I mean,
I don't even know if they know who's getting all that because like sometimes they used to like to leave what's his name in for that Walker, but now they're so bad. I don't think Horton Tucker is at all sneaky. I think people are pretty on it right now. I'm showing Horton Tucker. I actually think Horton Tucker is the better play, by the way, between Sensabaugh and him. But I'm showing Horton Tucker as being the highest owned of any of the Jazz, except for maybe John Collins. So I don't think there's anything sneaky at all about Horton Tucker. But I think he's a totally reasonable play. It's just, again, with Utah, it's really hard. And it's hard to even know who to not play with who because they change their rotations all the time. And one just quick note about the Sexton thing. It's weird to say this, but like Keontae George out doesn't necessarily help him. It might actually hurt him because that means you play more minutes with Jordan Clarkson and Keontae George's lower usage is going to take less shots than those guys usually. Not always, but usually.
Let me see anything yet? Not really.
No. I see their total. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they've got Banton at 25 fantasy points. Jabari looks like I think they're still updating. Yeah, so they gave Banton the biggest boost there. And Rupert at a 5X. What if this is the night?
Even the Mamiya with like 12 fantasy points here, it seems.
It's like everybody. You can't really pick a wrong guy. You know what I mean? Like if Justin Minaya or Moses Brown is in the winning lineup tonight, I'm not gonna that's a smart thing to do. If you're mass entering, I would get some exposure to all these guys.
Well, it is probably a good idea to see who's starting too.
Sure, but I don't know that the starting lineup changed though, did it? I'm sorry, it has to be start. Yeah, you're right. You do. But I think we're assuming Banton.
I'm seeing Banton. Well, it's so funny. One feeds off the others. So they're projecting Banton with 25 fantasy points, and as a result, they're projecting with 51% ownership.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. But
yeah.
So is he going to be 100? I mean, is he going to be 100%? Is that the story?
No, I don't think it'll be that high. But I think it'll be high. I think it'll be probably in those 50, 60 range. I mean, there's other stuff. It's not like this is the only thing on the slate, you know.
Right.
You have a very nice normal cash build that he fits into, but I think that I think that if he doesn't start, obviously it'll come down. But yeah, you're right. We need the starting lineup before we can do anything. So I am still going to go back to that. I like the AD and Shea pairing. And I like the Lillard and Harden, or Lillard and Kawhi or George. Those are the pairings that I would be spending up on. It is interesting that no one's going to play Minnesota with an amazing matchup, but I just can't picture how it works. I honestly don't know how this spread is within 20. This might be the biggest mismatch of the year. The only problem is it is a back-to-back for Minnesota. I think if Minnesota rested all of their starters, they would still win this game easily. Yeah. Actually, that might be what they should do.
Does Minnesota have one of the best records?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. I felt that trade was going to ruin them. It's
well, yeah, but also Gobert is famous for having the great regular season teams. Remember, Utah was the 1 seed every year. They always
right.
Playoffs. But now they've got help. They've got guys behind him that they fill in these. Hey, you want to play him off the court? Bring Naz Reid in. You know what I mean? These guys are good. But it's what's crazy is that OKC is the best record in the West, and that's obviously the better conference.
So if you go with the Sabres in projection, you get 85% Banton.
You get that many? Yeah, I get it. I mean, the projection of all the 3K guys, he looks a lot more logical than the rest of them. Too bad he doesn't have forward eligibility, because
maybe 100%.
I mean, he's going to be popular, but there is a bust path though. I just want to make it really clear. This is not a no bust situation. And by the way, so you do have Thibault and Kamara out. So the minutes, you'd think that he has minutes, but could be there. But he's been playing mostly in blowout run only, and he did go nuts the other night against Memphis. When the first blowout, he put up 39. Yeah, I think he makes sense. I'll probably end up playing him. Yeah, I'll probably play him, and then I could do the Clarkson or what do I want to do with that? That's interesting. If I already have Hendricks, I only have Hendricks and Sensabaugh, though. Let's do Monk. I really like this Monk idea if it works. I really like the Monk idea, though. And I'm struggling with Jordan Clarkson versus Trey Jones. Jordan Clarkson has been unbelievably awful, but it's mostly just because he's shot the ball terrible.
Well, I'll do your question. Is he at home?
He's at home.
You can play him.
I know, but he's been terrible everywhere lately. And he's getting the minutes too. It's just his usage is down. It's just all gone to Sexton, I guess, and George. Well, I'll leave that for right now. I'm going to post just a quick current build for everybody, in the premium, but I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it looks like getting all this Blanton, I guess, but I'll look again.
So all the Banton, Lillard, and Portis will be all a bunch of 1,000,000% owned.
Yeah.
I just want to point out the one thing we've seen a couple times though. We have seen Brooke Lopez have some big games without Giannis, and he doesn't get the love like in general that the ownership wise. So maybe Brooke Lopez could be an interesting pivot if you wanted to fade Portis. And they're probably fine together, but I think that you could definitely play him instead of Portis and get a little different that way. Interesting that Jabari Walker's projection didn't change much. I would have thought because of minutes alone that it would have. What do we have in that minutes? 30 minutes? Wow. Well, Jabari Walker is he's a better fantasy producer than that. I'm telling you, I have this sneaky suspicion, Sheets, that Moses Brown ends up winning somebody a tournament tonight.
You think so? Well, we'll see.
Feeling. They've got the double bigs and they've got bigs off the bench. So blowout or not, they just don't have enough big bodies. The only big bodies they have are him, and even Walker is too small. I don't know. It's really Reith and him and Walker, and Walker is even stretching it a little bit. That is going to be one of those.
Lono Banton. Interesting.
He can do things. He's kind of a fun player. He's not inactive. You know what I mean? He'll get out there and mix it up.
You could, and then you could also go back to those Clippers who are now going to be lower owned.
Yep, I think they're going to be unowned completely. I just don't think anybody's playing one Clipper.
You can't give up on that watch, though. You got to try to do something with that.
I don't know what I do.
I don't know either.
It's in the plumbing system now, and to remove the I don't know. It's a lot. It's tough.
You know what that reminds me of? So, I mean, you probably at least heard the story, but I was actually kind of part of when it was happening. So at Borgata, must have been, a long time ago, but there was a guy who was accused of stealing chips and palming chips and moving chips for whatever. And he was at my table actually for, a good period of the day. He would just wouldn't play any hands. But then he would I didn't know at the time, but looking back, you could tell he was doing some fishy stuff. He had chips in his pocket. He kept on doing whatever. And then they were suspecting of him. And it turns out what he did was he flushed and tried to conceal the evidence by flushing them all down the toilet in the hotel room. And it basically clogged up the whole hotel system.
Oh, my God.
All of the plumbing. And that's how they actually caught him at the end of the day. And he ended up either going to jail or something.
Oh, my God. That's wild.
Yep.
That is crazy. I've never heard that one.
Yep. Yeah, here it is. That's it. Indeed.
Jacob's asking an interesting question. I'm going to answer. It totally depends on the slate, Jacob. He says, can you win a tourney without a spend up? For example, is picking a bunch of all guys 5 to 7K viable strategy? Yeah, on a certain slate, but it really is all slate dependent. And I don't think it's a viable strategy today. At least I don't find it to be viable.
Yeah, this was yeah. I posted the link to the story. Yeah, the authority said Lasardi suspected the scheme has been discovered, so he flushed the fake chips down the toilet room at Harrah's, where he'd been staying, but the chips clogged the pipes, and guests on the floor below complained the water was dripping into their rooms. Maintenance called, the chips were found.
That's really funny.
3 million chips were recovered.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's a lot of money he stole. Jeez. So wait, how did they don't say how he stole it?
I don't know. Probably saw him the day before, you know what I mean? When you're in the casino room, the night before, there's all these tournament chips all over the place. In the on like the tables. I guess he just like stole. He just literally just took them. I don't know.
Yeah. That's wild.
Someone says Walker the fade of the day. I don't even know how old he's going to be after all this.
Yeah, I don't think it's like it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're not doing anything. You're not like getting super different by fading Walker.
So there's no starters yet, obviously.
I just updated my personal core, but I only have 3 players on it right now because I feel like I want to figure out. I'm tempted to put the Anthony Davis on there, but yeah, maybe I will. I really like Davis tonight. It's just hard. It's such a good matchup. I just think we gotta like rely on that, but he just so often doesn't quite get there. like you know what I mean, in like a major way. But the matchup is pretty premier. Yeah, so I'll add Davis as my spend up there. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do with my big buy in it? I'm going to speculate. I'm going to play THT, but I don't think I'm that interested. I'm not as interested in THT if George is playing. I think he's still fine. But I think that if he doesn't play, like he's the guy who I actually want the most. I think he's the one I want the most. And then I can drop down and play Jordan Poole. We have a little game stack there.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'm anticipating this Blanton projection to go down.
I think so too.
I mean, I can give like 20 or something.
Yeah, it's going to be good though still. Yeah, exactly.
It'd be good, but it's not going to be like 80%.
Yeah. I don't know though, Sheets. It might, like you said, there really aren't that many guys. They need to spread those fantasy points somewhere. Ryan Rupert is probably going to get some ownership, by the way.
Ryan Rupert, you think so?
Yeah, because.
But there are 10 guys, like you said, right?
Right, but it's not necessarily just going to. I mean, he's 19 years old. Like he's a young guy. They can get a look at. He was a second round pick, this year. You'd think that they would show, like, give him a little bit of a look. Like that's the thing with the Ashton Higgins thing. That's what got me away from it. Was I just realized like he's like in his 4th year. Like I don't think like they're trying to get him minutes. Whereas a guy like Rupert, they should be trying to get minutes. THT Sensiba. Let's do this. We'll do Harden. Rolo.
So I'm gonna update the projections one more time, like right now. With whatever I have, and what that's not going to include, unfortunately, are Portland starters, and obviously it's not going to include Utah. I mean, Utah we don't know yet, but the Deontay George, but
right,
we wouldn't know for a while anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so just to give you a couple of other projections around the industry. I mean, I got one place that's got him the Bant at 19, another with like 22.
Yeah, like you pointed out before, I think it really is dependent on starters.
Let's see what these turkeys have. And 29 minutes. I mean, I guess you could project them at 29 minutes, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's the one. He's been playing. He played close to he played 20 in the blowout the other night. But
they're playing Minnesota too. Minnesota plays defense, and it's like,
yeah, it's no fun. It's really not. I mean, for what it's worth, I'm only getting to one Blazer, right now, and that's what right now I'm Stanton. George, Kawhi, which George? Okay, Keontae George is in. Okay, that lessens a little bit of my love for THT.
That's good. At least I don't have to update anything. So Keontae George is in. Okay.
Back into the rotation, playing at least 20 minutes for the first time since December, although he has the ability to contribute. Yeah. Yikes.
Well, I'm actually going to get this done. Yeah, so I'll probably end up with a bunch of band at the end of the day.
Yeah. Sensible.
For everybody that's here, I am updating projections, and they should be posted within 5 minutes. But there's not going to be any. There's not going to be any others. That's the best I can do.
Cool.
For those of you who missed it, hockey did update in plenty of time, and I already did League of Legends for tomorrow. I'm back doing my thing.
Nice. I think I'm gonna go Clarkson over Tyus.
Let's go back to FanDuel. You like George, meaning Keontae George or Paul George, Jacob? I guess Keontae George. Okay.
Yeah, I think he was saying that. Keontae. Yeah, Keontae's totally in play. I definitely like the Utah side of things a little bit less than I did before.
And definitely, make sure you late swap if you are around to do so. Where is this? NBA.
Rupert.
All right. So okay, so projections are updated, and I will at least show you, or at least tell you what I'd be getting. Right.
I'm curious how much Utah you're getting.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know in a second. And yeah, I'm starting with building 150, so I'm playing that $4 thing. The $4.
Yeah.
I imagine that I'm going to be getting all the Milwaukee before all the Utah, but it could be one of those weird Sabres bills where you get like 4 Milwaukees and 4 Utahs or something like that, or something like that. And I've seen that before, but not with the Blanton stuff. Probably get some Shea and some AD now that you can afford it. Okay, so hang on, almost done. Yeah, so in the 150, I forgot what happened to my. Like Lillard is the top. Like I'm getting 100% Lillard right now.
Yep, that makes sense.
And then 90% Portis, and then 75% Blanton, and then everybody like under 60 after that.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and but then there are other guys, Collins and Clarkson and Kuzma and Sexton and all those guys. They still want me to get all of this Andre Drummond for some reason. I don't know how comfortable I feel with that.
Yeah. I don't know either. I'm a little iffy on that one as well. Sense of,
but Lillard's obviously a strong play. I mean,
yeah. Lillard, Portis, Hendricks. I think I am going to play Harden. I'm debating right now because I'm trying to find a build that I actually like.
He's going to be like 0% owned. I mean, like.
I know it's a back-to-back and it's weird, but
I mean, it's a back-to-back where he's coming off a crap game. I mean, like, as you were saying.
Yeah. In his last back-to-backs, he's played 39 and 38 minutes. So shouldn't have to worry as much about the minutes. His range of outcomes is so wide in general, but like that's the thing is like, do I want to play? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is do I want to play Kobe White and Kawhi Leonard or James Harden, or do I want to play Keontae George, Clarkson, Tyus Jones, one of those three with Anthony Davis? I think Clarkson and Clarkson. Well, I think George and Davis actually maybe it's pretty close between George and Clarkson.
Well, you know what? With that news in, like the Keontae George news in, maybe you can play these something from this early game.
Yeah, definitely. Now that you know what's what, yeah.
Like TrueDFS.
You still don't have the Fox news, but yeah. I think I almost ended up on one of these guys. So like I was considering, so I totally understand it.
Yeah, the Fox news is going to be annoying.
It just feels, you know what? I'm going to go with my gut instinct here and do the Harden on the back-to-back having a big game.
Dude, you get away with it, you're a freaking hero. I mean, like.
But look at, let me just, he's the every other night guy. Like, not every other. Maybe Harden's not the right one. That's the thing I can't figure out. I really want one of them, and I'm struggling between he and Kawhi.
I mean, I think you should probably play Kawhi only because he's usually a better play, and the only problem is he usually gets owned. But I don't know if he's going to get owned tonight.
Oh, he won't get owned tonight. It's just the drop coverage defense, the matchup, directly, and not having a guy who really can guard him. Everything just feels like it's the kind of night where he would have a big game.
Yeah, if Lillard tweaks his ankle, it's going to be a bad day for Eric. What other questions in here? Anything good?
I didn't see the last one.
Oh yeah, Nurk did have like 30 rebounds last night. I did hear about that.
Yeah, 31. That's crazy. Ugh, did I just play Davis? I think I'm just going to play Davis. Maybe I play Monk and just be a hero.
Dude, between Monk and Harden, man, you are really going for the throat ski.
Well, I'm trying to decide. No, I could go Monk with Davis, or I'm deciding Harden with one of DeRozan.
You watch, at the end of the day, Tyus Jones end up being 2% owned after all that talk.
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
I think that actually people will shift off of a little bit of their Utah exposure to Washington, because that question mark for George was a part of it. But it's like hard with AD, like just from like looking at game logs, it doesn't make you feel nice and cozy. He does have monster upside, and this is such a good matchup. I just can't get over it. I'm going to play Davis, and I think I'm going to play with him. I think Clarkson is the lowest owned of those three with George. Ugh. I just don't understand the Clarkson numbers, man. I'm actually having just trouble with it. I really would have thought that he would have been more productive. I think it's just really just horrible shooting, like really horrible shooting. But the usage is down too. Oh boy.
For whatever reason, I guess because it's a smaller slate too. On FanDuel, Claxton in that first game is showing up as a good play.
Claxton. Oh yeah, I love Claxton in that matchup. By the way, absolutely love it. Didn't get to it myself. Maybe I'm too dialed into this Taylor Hendricks thing, and maybe I need to get off. Maybe I need to get off of the Sensabaugh. That's probably the right thing to do.
Remember at the beginning of the day, I was like, "Who is something Sensabaugh?" And you watch, he'll be like 8% owned.
That's the only reason why I kept him in so long. I feel like he is gonna I feel like I don't know. I like the play a little bit.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, good luck, everybody. Hopefully, somebody takes something down.
Good luck. Have a good night, man.
Okay.
Is Goodwin out? Rhodey's asking that. I'm going to answer that really quick. I don't know why we would think Goodwin is out. Why would you ask that question about Goodwin? No, Goodwin. No, he wouldn't have started anyway. Like most likely. Is he out? Maybe he is. Maybe I missed something. While we were on air, did Goodwin get out? Did Goodwin get announced out? Oh, I guess he. I don't know where he is. Yeah, I guess that we've got him as out. Well, that's kind of interesting. Okay. All right, back to the drawing board for the first game. I'm just going to see. Thanks for letting us know so late, guys. Who's in the starting lineup? Luke Kennard is probably your best bet for a play there. I think I might actually do that because no one's going to do it. Well, Kennard, Conchar, Jameson. Probably Jameson makes the most sense. Yeah, someone probably will be, but guess which one? And also, we've seen Memphis have even less guys than this and not really get there. Remember, we had the same situation with Memphis before. They just had the only difference is that Kennard was out and now he's playing, and Goodwin's out. So that's really the only difference. All right, sorry guys, I'm just want to make it sure let you know. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of guys who are going to be good who just can't. You're just going to have a hard time playing everybody today. Trey Jameson is the one who's looking like he makes the most sense, though. But I don't think I want to do it. Yeah, Jackson makes some sense, but it's not really a boost to any of these guys. I just want to remind everybody again. Goodwin was in before Kennard was out. Now Kennard's in, Goodwin's out. There's not another player down for Memphis. It's the same as it's been lately for us. So just keep that in mind. But I do think Kennard is probably worth a tournament gamble. Yeah, I can get behind the Kennard thing. I think I might actually do that. If no one's going to do it, I might do it. That might be one way I can get different on this bizarre, annoying little slate. All right, guys, I don't know what else I'm going to do.